Hi everyone, this video is going to give you some information on language arts for 6th through 8th grade, so I hope you find it helpful. I want to start with our mission. The mission for language arts is to develop lifelong readers. We want students to actually enjoy reading, and we want them to be able to express themselves as writers. So we really focus on making sure that they know how to share their opinions and share their ideas. And then we want them to be critical thinkers and effective communicators, because leadership is also a focus here at RMA. Our framework for the year is going to be very similar to years past. They're going to have time for daily independent reading, and then we're going to keep with our 2 periods of language arts, and we're going to be using the reading and writing workshop model that we've used in the past, and we're going to be using the Florida standards as well to make sure students are getting in-depth study of reading, writing, speaking, and listening with lessons on grammar and vocab too. We know that's a lot to cover, so that's why we have the 2 periods so that they actually have time to understand. So where can your child find books? Some students are going to be learning from home, some students are going to be here at school, and we want to make sure that they have what they need. So I'm going to go through some of those resources. This first one is a link that has a ton of different books in PDF form, lots of young adult titles, lots of series, so I highly recommend those. And then it also has some audiobooks on the Bluford series, which just have a lot of getting through difficult things and overcoming problems in life. So this is one resource. Children's Library has a wide range of books that students can search by, and there's lots of icons to help them narrow their search. Open Library is another one. Students can browse by subject to find something that they're interested in, and these are all online ways for them to view things regardless of if they're at home or at school. Audible has also opened up some audiobooks, so you'll see kind of the main page here, and then you can narrow it down. I've just clicked tween, and it shows more books that they can look at from there to kind of help them narrow their search again. The public library, we're still recommending students go there. You can get virtual library cards. Students can find the library closest to them, and the libraries have curbside pickup, but with the library card, they can also provide students with an opportunity to find books online, so more ebooks, or for students to listen to audiobooks. So these are some apps too that help with that. Hoopla and Libby, your child can download those, and then they're able to listen to those audiobooks or see the ebooks online, and they have access through their library card membership. Amazon Prime has all these Kindle books. You'll see it says Kindle edition $0. So again, we're recommending that. It's just another way for students to have access to books. As far as books that we have here at RMA in our reading rooms, we are working on students still checking out books. So we are going to share more information when we have it, but our priority is student safety. And so we're making sure that we can get books into the hands of students, but we want to do it the safest way possible. So we'll share more on that. You'll see an image here of book source. We are scanning our books and making sure students can check out books that we have available by going to this site then and seeing what's available from their language arts teacher. So this will just be a way for them to see their options. And even if they're learning from home, we're trying to find ways that we can have you guys come to still have them check out if they actually want that physical book in their hands. We want students to enjoy and to have plenty of options. As far as the reading level and age appropriateness, you may be wondering, how do I know? Is this a good book for my child? Your child might be wondering, how do I know? And so they can actually look up the book level on Scholastic Book Wizard. This is just an example. I typed in the title of this book, and then it brought up this is a grade 3 through 7 book, and its guided reading level is S if you're familiar with those from elementary school. And then Common Sense Media has a more in-depth overview. It actually looks like this as one example, since this is a newer title, and it just tells you the age appropriateness, what's actually in it, so you kind of can know what's concerning or if you're okay with your child reading that. Tells you what parents need to know, gives you a summary of the book, and even has reviews from both students and adults who have read it. So this is just if you want more information to see if that's a good book or if your child wants to know. And then if you're seeing these levels and you're not really sure, what does that mean? You can go to these sites and actually see how difficult that book is based off its level. For young adult books, they can contain more mature topics. and information. So we can't read every book, obviously. I wish we had time to, but just make sure you're having conversations with your child, and we will likely send home permission slips just to make sure we know which students are allowed to read YA books and which students cannot. All right, so now I'm going to kind of jump into the Google Classroom aspect, and I want to make sure that as a parent you understand how to kind of monitor and make sure you know if your child's completing their assignments for language arts. So your child's going to get a code from their language arts teacher, and the stream is going to be the first page that they see once they go in and click on that class. And that's going to have reminders and announcements from the teacher. There's going to be another tab that's more important, that's classwork. And that's where they're actually going to find the assignments. And as a school overall, we're working on making sure that that classwork tab is very organized for each subject for your child. Assignments will be organized primarily by the week. Sometimes you might see it by unit, but typically by week. And not every assignment for language arts is turned in on Google Classroom. So if you are wondering, like, is my child missing something, the best place to check is actually Focus. And then if a teacher has a checklist posted, that would be another great resource. You can just see, like, hey, you're supposed to have done these things. Let me see if you have them. So I want to show an example. This is from my class last quarter at the end of the year. And you'll notice that the stream is where I'm on. It's the first thing once you click on that actual subject in that period. And then I just had an announcement like, here are the results for the teacher superlatives. So it's just information being shared. The classwork page, on the other hand, which is right next to the stream, but they do need to click on it. This is where it actually has the week, so your child can make sure they're in the correct week, and then they can see numbered what their assignments are. And sometimes it may not be a whole separate list of assignments, but it might be like number 1, this is a digital interactive notebook which has multiple assignments within it that they complete throughout the week. Or it might tell them, like number 4, go complete these 2 assignments on Common Lit. It might send them to another website to do the assignment. So classwork section is where they find their assignments or directions if it sends them elsewhere. So what I want to point out is not everything you see on Google Classroom will have a little box that says turn it in or mark this assignment as done, because they might be working on it for multiple days or it might be on another website. So this is an example of a digital interactive notebook. It's basically like a composition book online, and the child is going to be working on assignments each day. Like this has Wednesday, what their assignment was. And we're going to make sure students receive training so they know how to type into it. Some teachers might have students still working on a paper composition book and then taking a screenshot. So that'll be the teacher's discretion. But the point is they might be working on this for multiple days. They won't just turn it in right on Monday. There's going to be some other websites that I mentioned that the child might have to complete assignments on. So I just want to go through some of those. I'm going to go quickly to respect your time, but there are links there so you can look at more information, and some of them even have videos that you can watch. So iExcel, your child might be familiar with. This is going to, all their login information is going to be kept in their agenda. We're going to make sure we go over this with students. Students working from home will make sure that they are clear on where everything needs to be as well. But you'll notice that there's some stars on iExcel, and that's how teachers can assign which skills students should work on. Common Lit is stories that teachers can provide. Students log in through their Google account, and then once they log in, it'll tell them what story they're supposed to read. This is just one example. I'm showing how there's guiding questions that are multiple choice. There's assessment questions. Did they really comprehend it? And sometimes the assessment question is a short answer, and they should be using complete sentences for those. And they can look right back in the story. Actively Learn is similar to Common Lit. Again, the teacher can assign stories or things for them to read. They can upload their own. Students answer questions. No Red Ink is like iExcel, except it's a little bit more tailored. Students are working on grammar. Flipgrid, you'll see this in a lot of different subjects. There's a video here you can watch where students are actually creating videos and uploading those to turn in for the assignment. Edpuzzle, this can be used to have students watch a video on a topic or a video of ourselves teaching, and then we can just make it pause at certain points so students have to answer questions to make sure that they're actually understanding the concepts that we're discussing and wanting them to learn. And then Quizlet and Quizlet Live, students can make flashcards, they can study them, there's games. There's an example here of just a set, and then this little plus sign allows students to share theirs with a class, and they'll get a code so they can join a class and they can actually study from other class members' cards. And then quizzes, this site is great for, just like it sounds, it can be used to give a quiz or a test. It can be multiple choice, it can be timed or untimed, but you might notice that your child is asked to complete an assignment on this, and so we wanted to show that as well, that again, sometimes they're sent to another website to complete a task. Oops, I skipped one. I just put in some other sites that your child might be interested in, depending on what they want to practice. And then finally, I put in all the language arts teachers' contact information. I do want to emphasize, if you just go on Focus and try to email us directly through that, we may not even see it because it goes to our district accounts. Many of us aren't looking at our district accounts anymore since we're using a Rowlett Academy email system. So this is the best way to contact teachers via email and to know that they got it. So I hope that answers all your questions. If you have any more, please reach out, and I'm wishing students all the best this school year.